To organize, you must have categories, right? So it's daily habits that you use every single day from when you're born until you're no longer here. You use these 4 habits every single day, but we never perfect them like we should. We learn them from when we're younger. And then as we get older, we just continue to kind of drift off and just think we know it all. But let's get back to the basics, people. The first one is self, which equals purpose, right? You wake up every single day and you take care of yourself. That's what we do when you roll out of that bed, right? From when you're born, growing up as a little kid, you got to learn how to understand yourself. Right? What is your purpose? Right? As a little baby, your purpose is to just, start talking, start walking, right? Then you get as a teenager and it changes. And then an adult, it changes. But it's always changing. And that's what you must realize and understand. Because a lot of times we get to that point and you just become stagnant. And it's like, there's no more growth. It's like, oh, I know myself. I don't need nobody to tell me who I am and what I need to do. You're always growing. So self is always changing. That purpose is always changing because as you evolve in life, it's going to change. And if it's never changing, that means you're not evolving. It kills me when I hear people say, oh, I'm the same person I've been my whole life. You think that's a cool thing? Right? How are you growing? Yeah, it's good to know who you are and where you come from. But if you're not shifting, then you're not growing. And we change because the world changes, which we don't have a choice but to change, right? So you need to start understanding self and continue to understand self and what is your true purpose at this moment in time, because it changes. So that's the first category that you can put your life into. And let's start figuring it out with all these great things that we already know about ourselves now, right? When you put this stuff in these categories, it's easy because we've already done the hard part. This is the easy part, right? The next one is activity equals power. Again, we roll out of that bed, we doing some form of movement, which is activity, which is our power. But why do we not want to track our movements throughout the day? Because a lot of times we go to the gym and we do all this fitness stuff, right? We got these fitness apps, all of that, the watches, track all that stuff, right? But you're not truly figuring out your movements throughout the day. Because a lot of times you go to the gym and it's like, well, you really already did shoulders throughout the whole day because you was lifting like all day long. So why do you need to go to the gym and do shoulders, right? You can focus on another body part to get better. But because we don't know our movements, we continue to replicate things that we've already done. And now we just overdoing a certain body part. And then we like, well, I'm sore here or I got this little ache. It's well because you only work in those muscles. Work some other muscles. And if you start understanding your movements, then you can do that. Just like when you was younger, you started take PE and stuff like that. Push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups. Like I said, let's take it back to the basics. Let's start knowing our movements now as an adult. And now all those little aches and pains that you have and stuff like that, maybe you can do different movements throughout the day to eliminate it. But if you don't know how you are moving, then you're never going to know that, right? You're never going to know that. So let's start figuring out our movements, right? That's that next category, right? Pretty simple, pretty easy. The next one is nutrition, which equals energy. Again, we roll out of that bed, we go drink some water, eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. At some point, we eat something or do something, right? And nutrition just ain't about eating, right? Sun, that's giving you energy. You might go to the sauna or something, that's giving you energy. So many things that's giving you energy that you're doing throughout the day. But you don't know that because you're not truly tracking it. You don't know what you put into your body. Everybody's different, And a lot of times we get these food plans and then we live and die by it. And we create misery, right? Let's go back to that forced discipline instead of the flow discipline. That's what we create, because the simple fact is we do not know who we are. You don't understand, right, what you put in your body. So how are you going to control the reaction of your body? Because a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm just sluggish, and oh, it's not a bad day, or I got a headache, or whatever it is. You can start eliminating a lot of those things by understanding what you're putting in your body, what you're doing to your body throughout the day. It's not about just tracking some calories and saying, okay, I was 1,000 calories under. Oh, I'm all about my micronutrients. Yeah, that's a piece of it. But let's start capturing the whole picture. So now we can really start creating that energetic lifestyle we all want to live. So the next one is finance, which equals freedom. We work our whole life, right? We work our whole life to eventually retire, right? Or to create a better lifestyle for ourselves. So we have money where we can take vacations or put our kids in a certain sport or they take some piano lessons, whatever it might be, right? We grow up. That's what we pretty much taught us, how to be a worker, right? You go to school, you grow up, you get a job. But why don't you want to understand your finances? I always ask people, I say, are you on a budget or you just know your money? And 9 times out of 10, oh, I just know my money. And I'm like, that ain't good enough. Just knowing your money. You got to stop thinking about a budget like this spreadsheet and it's just only about money that's coming in and going out, right? It's about a bigger picture than that. A spreadsheet ain't just about how much it costs for toilet paper, how much it costs for meat, how much gas costs, what's my gas bill, what's my mortgage. There's more to it than that, people. Like, what are you creating with your money? Like, what do your finances look like 10, 20, 30 years from now? Because that's what truly matters, not just, well, this is how much my mortgage is. I'm saving $500 a month. I'm just putting it in the savings account. You want to allow your money to make money for you. And how you do that is by understanding your finances. That's how you gain the freedom. How do you expect to gain that freedom without understanding your finances? I don't care how much money you make. If you don't understand your finances, you're never going to gain that freedom. You're always going to be chasing that money. So finance is very important because when you're born till you're no longer here, it's all about finances, people. It's all about finances. So let's start learning them. So that's organized, right? That's another category. So you got 4 categories now that you can put your life into. Because if you think about your life and every single thing that you do, you can fit it in these 4 categories. It's nothing in life you cannot fit in these 4 categories. And now that's going to allow you to simplify that maintenance. Because now you see what's going on here. You see what's going on there. It's easier to correct it opposed to having everything everywhere, right? It's all over the place. If you got like this book and you don't have any markings or anything in it, then you're like, oh, I don't know what page that was on. You just flipping through the pages like, you're like, forget it, right? But if you got things organized and you got them nice and neat, you got them in order, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's just on page 10 because that was the time. Boom, you flip to that, right? You just simplify life, right? Kiss it, kiss life. Keep it super simple, people. Again, nothing that I have showed you today is nothing that you're not already doing. You're already doing all of this every single day. The only thing I have done is simplify it for you to create that dream lifestyle. What did I say? I said together we will create a plan and a process to elevate you to build your dream lifestyle. Well, here it is. This is how you build that dream lifestyle. And it all starts with a 1 moment mindset, people. That's it. It's that simple. Now, if you follow this exactly how I just told you, you will start creating that dream lifestyle. I guarantee it. But for some people that maybe want to speed up the process, because that might take some time, right? Because now you got to start the whole plan from the beginning, right? You got to build the instructions, right? If you got an IKEA furniture set and it didn't come with instructions and you had to figure out how to put all the pieces together, it's going to take you a lot longer than if you got that manual and they tell you step by step. Well, if you want to speed up that process, then that's what I am here for. So if you want to get an action plan created for you so you can speed up that process, then the only thing you need to do is click the link or scan the QR code. And like I said before, together we will create a plan and a process to elevate you to build your dream lifestyle. So if you are ready to build that dream lifestyle and you want to speed up the process, then click the link, scan the QR code, and let's get started right now.